The bulls were out to play today. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky here with TechBud Solutions. Pretty important economic reports are being released this week with PCE prices later this Thursday and unemployment rate later this Friday. But even tomorrow, 30 minutes after the market opens, I want to make sure that you're aware that if you're part of our live trading session or part of our live trading group for the LPP team, tomorrow it is the JOLTS, which are job openings, which is pretty important, as well as consumer confidence, not as important, but also something that can move the market. I do want to remind you, one of the main focuses that Jerome Powell said is that, of course, they're going to continue to focus on economic data, but also to pay attention to labor markets and conditions, right? This will better determine if the Federal Reserve will continue to raise rates or if they decide to pause. But let me go ahead and start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. Today, did very, very well. I wanted to break down some of my trades very quickly. $7,180.63. I do want to disclose, again, I do trade with over 250,000 on these series of trades. And when it comes down to the big moves today, I mean, I drew the lines just so you guys can have a better understanding of the range. I know a lot of beginners like to see the resistance range, the support range, right? Support here, bounce back, got rejected. Resistance got rejected, tested support here, consolidated, resumed back up to that same resistance, got rejected. So today, if you're a scalper, right, meaning that you like to get in and get out very quickly, you probably did pretty well today, right? Because you could have played both sides. I mean, I didn't decide to play both sides. I didn't choose to trade SQQQ. And the main reason why was NASDAQ was more bullish than it was bearish. I mean, it was in the green. It's up 2.23% for TQQQ or 0.75% for QQQ, right? So this is the NASDAQ ETF. But again, you either worked really well with the market or it was very a frustrating day, right? Overbought levels, oversold levels, and overbought levels. I did a great job not only during our live trading session sharing my intentions with the LPP team, but also I kept them up to date with all the different updates. I wanted to show you guys this. Again, they are the only team that I work with on a closer basis. It's not for them to copy my entries and my exits. That's my trades are never perfect, right? But it's to understand my thought process. So I trade live every morning for 30 minutes to an hour. And then on top of that, I provide them with these updates, giving them a sense of direction of what I'm paying attention to and what my intention is. And again, I do that literally every single day with one team, and it's just the LPP team. If you want to learn more about it, again, to be able to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow, that's the second link in the description down below. If you sign up tonight, you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. And yes, it is a one-time payment and lifetime access to those updates and of course to the daily live trading sessions. But the main reason that I closed out my trade, I wanted to show you guys this. I left myself with my one lucky share. And the main reason why is I don't know what the market's going to continue to do, right? I worked well with it today as a day trader, but let's be honest, market's been very, very choppy. It's one of the main things that I talked about on Friday and what I wanted to say that my main focus was this week. And I want to be selective. I want to make sure that I don't carry a position overnight if I'm still unsure of what the market's intentions are. I'm unsure of what the market's direction is, right? I mean, we've been bearish for about 2.5 to 3 weeks, right? Selling off. As of last week, we began to consolidate. But consolidation does not mean we're going to begin to recover, right? If we look at this on the day chart for QQQ, which is the NASDAQ ETF, you can see that we're right around this EMA line and it looks promising, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to recover, right? So this is why I was more encouraged to test out, and be with the bulls today because direction seemed more favorable for them. But ultimately, I mean, we could still get rejected and sell right back off to lows of 355, which means at that point, TQQ is not going to be the position I want to play, which is essentially why I reduced my position back to that one share. Again, the one share is just, I call it my one lucky share, and it's just an inside joke that we have with our LPP team. But if the market begins to sell off, what do you think I'm going to be trading? SQQQ, right? Because SQQQ goes up when the NASDAQ market goes down. And this is why it's so important, right? During this consolidation phase, I need to make sure that I size down when direction is unclear and that I also make sure that I cut losses if there is a quick change of direction. Today could have been very, very challenging, and please let me know down in the comment section if you were not good at locking in profits and really entering at these oversold levels, because there was margin to play, right, on both sides. I mean, you could have made money on SQQQ, but every single move that it had today, even if you didn't play pre-market, the first dip to the recovery to that resistance is 1.8%. And it did this once, right? It did this twice and then 3 times. right? And that's not playing both sides, right? So you could have, I guess, done that if you would have locked in profits and then shorted the market, right? You could have done this once, twice, and then 3 times. So there's a lot of money to be made percentage-wise, but that's a pretty proactive trader. And anytime you open a position, it's open to risk. So today was just the day where there was a lot of consolidation. There was lack of progress. And if you pay attention to one of the updates that I sent to the LPP team, I sent this at 10:34 a.m. and I told them, this might just be me, but QQQ is lacking progress. So I am playing it safe. And yes, it's boring, but I'm going to sell my position. I'm going to sell my entire TQQQ position and lock in profits. And that's when we just continued to consolidate here. And shortly after, boom, aggressive sell-off. I could have gotten back in, but I just decided not to. And again, I just played it safe. Remember, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to take advantage of every opportunity. Yes, FOMO does strike from time to time, but guess what? The goal is to be green, and the goal is to make sense of your quality trades. I would rather be someone that's selective than overtrades and then hopes to get lucky, right? Let's be selective during an uncertain time. This week is very, very important, right? We have the JOLTS, which are the job openings that are going to be released tomorrow, 30 minutes after the market opens. And yes, the market does react, as well as we have the consumer confidence report being released at 10 a.m., which is 30 minutes after the market opens. So this will be caught live during our live session with the LPP team, right? And then on top of that, right, we have the GDP estimate, and then we have the PCE prices. For those that are unaware, PCE is the best kind of like data tool that the Federal Reserve likes to use to see how the overall economy is doing, right? And then on Friday, we have the unemployment rate. So pretty significant economic reports on both the overall economy and as well as the labor markets. So I think this is going to kind of set the tone if the market continues to sell off or if it actually begins to recover. Because remember, early next month, we're going to be having the next interest rate hike or pause. And I think this data will really provide the Federal Reserve the data that they need to better determine what's in our best interest to either continue to raise rates or to potentially pause. So you guys can let me know down in the comment section. But overall, again, when in doubt, cash out. We should never be afraid to lock in profits or to reduce position size during uncertain times. I know I like to keep my trading pretty boring and pretty simple, but guess what? Our job here is just to focus on those quality trades every single day, and I'm very happy in the way that I performed today. So excited for tomorrow, right? The only people that freak out when the market pulls back or when the market skyrockets are those that did not prepare. And by me selling all of my shares and staying cash, I have options tomorrow. I have the ability to go long with the market if it goes up, or I have the ability to go short with the market if it goes down. There's always money to be made as long as I focus on one thing, and that's market direction. So very excited to follow up for tomorrow's live trading session with the LPP team. I hope to see you there, and that's the second link in the description down below. Appreciate your time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.